I've got a basically I've got a brand new arrangement view open here. We've got a bass channel here. It's just a simple MIDI track, and we've got this synthesizer here, which I said is the Superwave P8. It's a great Wii free synthesizer. I use it for most of my workshops. You see we've got two oscillators, a couple of filters, filter envelopes, amp envelopes, LFOs, modulation, a couple of delays, and that's pretty much it. But I'm gonna show you that this is a really good way to this is a good VST instrument to write with. It's very simple, and I think if you can utilize the simple things, if you understand how the oscillators and the envelopes and all this stuff works, then you're going to be able to create a fat sound just as you could with a big expensive commercial synthesizer. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a MIDI clip. We're going to insert a MIDI clip here, and we're going to add in some notes. Now I'm going to use G. I'm just going to add a whole bunch of G notes. I'm very partial to G because it's a nice low frequency. It packs a punch on most systems, and it also gives you the leeway to move down to say F or D if you want to duck down and resolve back up to G. You still have that headroom. A low D below this is still quite fat. So we'll put that in there, and we'll put in another long note here. Let's add in a few like this. So we're in the key of G minor here. We'll go across, and little notes here. 1, 2, 3. Go up to a D and up to another G. So there's a nice little loop. So I'm going to put the length on 2, so it's a 2-bar loop. You can see here we've got our loop point set, and this is our loop here. So if we hit play, we're going to hear it, and there you go. Nice and simple. It's a very simple saw wave. Let's change the BPM a bit. Let's change it to 130. So if we open this up, you see we've got saw wave enabled, and it's just a very simple saw wave playing. So that's good. Well, that's all we need for the start. Now what I want to do is I want to resample this bass line. So at the moment it's a MIDI track with a VST instrument. I want to resample that down so it's a separate bounce down waveform. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to create a new audio track, which is Control T. So here we go, here's a new audio track. We'll call this bass in, call it whatever you like. And this little section here, this is the input and output. So I'm going to tell it to take whatever is coming out of the first track, which is bass 1. So anything which gets played through bass 1, the output of this is now being fed into the input of this bass channel here, and that gives me a very simple way just to bounce this out and resample it. So I'm going to hit record here, I'm going to go back to the start, I'm going to hit record up here, and I'm going to hit play, and you can see now this very simple bass line, it's being recorded in a loop for us. There we go. So that's been recorded. It's very quiet, so I'm just going to raise the volume down here, up a bit. So great. Now, so if we just solo this track and play it, we can hear. Perfect. Okay. So that's great. So that's our first layer. But now what we want to do is we want to create another copy of the bass line. We've got this copy. We want to create it with a new sound. So you could insert another audio track and do the same thing. What I do is I just simply select the track that I've already created and do Control D. So I've created a duplicate of it. So now this track is armed ready. You can see it's already been set to take the input from bass 1, and this one here has just kind of been bumped down. So I'm just going to turn that off so we want to mute that. We don't want to listen to that. So now let's solo this, and we'll open up our bass line again. And for this one, let's just pick a square wave or a pulse wave. Very simple again. So I'll just get rid of this master so you can see better. Let's hit record. This is already armed because we duplicated it, and let's go. So now you see it's recording the same bass line but with a second sound, and that's exactly what we want. There we go. So let's open that. Again, it's quite quiet. I'm being a bit sloppy. I should raise the volume on the thing, but we can do it this way. Okay, that's good. Now let's do another one. So this is the third one. Remember, we're going to mute that, and this is already. So what do we got here? Let's just play with the sound for a minute. Let's add a second oscillator into here. That's cool. Making another pulse. And you see how it's gone silent because of, I guess, phase cancellation. So if we detune this a little bit. It's pretty cool. Okay, so let's record that. It's got that nice kind of phasing in and out effect going on. Boom. So that's our third one. Great. So just bring the volume up of that one as well. I'm going to do a fourth one, so we're going to duplicate that again. We'll delete the clip. We'll open up this. What should we do here? Let's play with the cutoff on this one. So that's the cutoff filter 1. I'll turn off oscillator 2, we don't need it for a minute. Put the resonance up a bit. What's this? And let's add some LFO to that cutoff so we get this wobbling effect. So we want a saw wave, we want it going to filter 1, which is already selected. Let's put the depth up. So now you can hear the LFO sweeping the cutoff up and down, which is here, so it's sweeping this up and down for us. So let's raise the rate up so it gets a bit more faster. It sounds good. A bit faster. Perfect, okay. So we're going to resample that one. Good. Okay, so we're going to raise the volume of this one again. Let's do this a couple more times. Control D, delete that, open this up. You've got to trust me on this. This will all pay off. Let's turn this into a saw. Make this one a pulse. Turn it on. Give it some white noise, maybe. Turn the white noise filter down it. Let's add some kind of let's add some attack to the envelope of the white noise filter. Do it with this one as well. Turn the depth off on the LFO. And we'll turn the white noise oscillator down a wee bit because it's quite loud. Cool, so we're going to record that one. Great, okay, so that's our fourth one, I guess. So bring this up a bit. Now let's muck around. Let's try something a bit different with this one. So let's just get a nice standard, let's say, turn the oscillator 2 off. Let's get a pulse wave or a square wave going. So we've got this envelope here. Let's make it a bit more stabby. It sounds good, but I'm going to add some Ableton effects. So let's have a look here. What do we got? Let's give it a simple delay. This is the fun part. You just kind of muck around and try and find new interesting ways to mess with the sound. So I'm going to link these together. Just turn the sync off so I've got a really, really short feedback. So see how I'm bringing the time down, putting the feedback up with this delay, so it's kind of changing the whole tone of it. It would kind of sound cool if we modulate this a wee bit, so I'm going to select the automation line for the time, so I'm going to select all that, drag this up a bit, and I'll add a point in the middle, and I'll get rid of these, so it kind of just subtly changes up and down. Bring this down. So that's quite cool, so let's record that.